Akpabio'S wife, Ekaite, dismissed allegations that her husband sexually harassed Natasha Akpoti during a press conference in Abuja. She described Akpabio as a disciplined and responsible man who will not disrespect her and their children.
The Senate President is a very, very responsible man and disciplined. As a governor, the number of women we had then in government, I don't think any government has had that number of women. In Akwa Ibom, when he was a governor, a lot of women were involved in governance. And none of them, not one, ever said something like this. In the past, we've allowed people to get away with a lot of things. And he will always tell me, if you can't stand the heat, leave the kitchen. I'm here to serve my people. They will throw mud at me. I said, but this mud is becoming too much. Why can't you do something? So I'm now the one going for a legal address.
All right, this was such a hot topic over the weekend. I don't recall not talking about this incident. Throughout the weekend, it was either, why is this woman suing Natasha? Oh, on what grounds is she suing Natasha for defamation? She wasn't the one defamed. So we had Liberace Shoma over the weekend on the weekend morning show, and I posed that question. He did, right?
No, you did.
I did. Oh, yes. I don't know.
Not just with him. I think you had another guest whom I think the last guest you had, I thought.
Oh no, that was our ombudsman. No, we just had our conversation about whether or not the issues of marginalization or sexual harassment should not be trivialized, and that was the topic. We talked about that. But Liberace Shoma said that this woman has no grounds in filing this defamation lawsuit. She wasn't the one defamed, and if he were her lawyer, he would advise her not to sue and drop the lawsuit. That's exactly, those were his words, basically summed up his words. Well, Akpabio's wife filed multiple lawsuits against Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan at the Federal High Court in Abuja, seeking 250 billion naira in damages. She accused Akpoti-Uduaghan of defamation and violation of her husband's fundamental rights. She's also demanding a perpetual injunction to stop further accusations. Well, so I needed to read that so we know what exactly it is. I think there was another 1 million naira for the actual defamation suit, which, I don't even know where that's going to go. I actually feel like there was a story that occurred over the weekend also with women in Akwa Ibom standing up for, what is that? What was that? Solidarity. In solidarity for Godswill Akpabio. I'd like for us to play that video really quickly before we come back for a discussion. We no go agree. Professor Anthony Killer, I saw you doing that, and I just, I'd like to just come to you with this actual story. These women are out there, and they're actually supporting their brother. They said our brother. Is it our brother?
Their brother. I don't know how big is their family. If all these people are brothers, they probably, the senator is the right expression. Well, there are two ways to look at it.
Yes.
Technically, one has to say, well, maybe they feel offended. Maybe they know him like the wife as a man who's disciplined. I will not do this. To that extent, one would think, they have the right to express their own position. There's something there. Akpabio, to say Akpabio is a disciplined, sober man will make him appear bipolar, because the one we see is far from that. I think it's rather Akpabio is a jolly good fellow, and the allegation of sexual harassment is a precise thing. Just because you're a jolly good fellow does not make you a predator or somebody that tries to extort sex from people. That's the way to look at it. And I think this woman, like his wife, they're telling their own story. At some point, we need to know what is true or false. It is true that Akpabio comes across as a man, and this is advice for everybody. He comes across as a man that is frameable at least, or can be suspected of what he's accused of. But we need to see if truly it has happened. He has a history of such accusation levied against him. But we have to be careful to say, technically, factually, is it true that it actually happened? I think that's the point. But
well, those are the conversations. But I wanted to I think I should ask Ayo this question in terms of those women. Are you in solidarity with the women?
No, I am curious for those women. I think these kind of people, we should need to know them one by one.
We need to know who they are, whether or not they are sponsored. Because I would like for you to
on my page on Instagram, and let me start one of the comments that came up a lot of times. That I think the true test of this would be ask each of the women to read what's on their placard. Let's even see whether they understand the issues that they've come out. And this is where I would say that I wish we could really understand what their understanding of the matter on ground is, because what I hear is, Natasha, you must respect our husbands. Apple, oranges, your mom will say, kilagbe, kilaju. Where are we coming from? Where are we going? someone said that she was sexually harassed, you are saying that she should respect our husbands. In what is it their individual husbands? Is it Senator Akpabio that is her husband? Is it her own husband they're asking to respect? By the way, her husband has also come out with a statement in support of his wife. So I want to understand. I think when I understand that, then I'll now be able to rationalize this behavior. Whereby the solution to a lot of things in Nigeria is let us go out, carry placards that people hand over. And the reason I'm saying that is because we had that under our very nose here, where some people came out with placards, and immediately afterwards we caught them on camera fighting because the money they gave them hadn't arrived. So we know that placard for money is a real thing. Now, after saying that, I just want to say that when we talk about people coming out, the main actor in all of this, and I said it last week, that this is too grievous or grave an allegation for us to be getting surrogates to be coming out to speak. And then you can notice that very deliberately it's only women who have been coming out, except for this morning where we had the Senate spokesperson come out to speak on the matter. And so it's also an understanding of the real issues. What we are asking for is not an indictment of Senator Akpabio. It is for an investigation. In any sane crime, when an allegation like this is made, even before, I heard that they had to give petition, but it's such a soil on the integrity of the institution that immediately you're coming out to say, no, actually we don't stand by this, because it's not about one individual. It's not about your brother. It's not about your son. It's about an institution and the position that is holding in trust. And if at all there's any slight on that position or that revered office, then a statement or at least an investigation should be had. And that's all people are calling for. Let them investigate this claim. And whoever is found guilty, because remember, the reason why we're still referring to Ms. Joy Nunez is that we don't have a concrete concrete conclusion to that matter. What happened? She said she slapped a whole a whole man like Senator, and nothing happened. So I think there's so many issues around this, and a lot of education, poverty has influenced some actions.
You said something just now that I was taken aback, ma. You said it is you feel disappointed that Natasha came out to air point. So is it that when a woman is suddenly harassed, as she claims, she should keep quiet? Misogyny should continue?
No, I don't.
That women should not speak up?
No.
Because she has won the election in the Senate now.
You have passed that. By the time you contest election and get to Senate, you understand? You have passed that. You are past that stage of your life of being sexually harassed.
Really?
So yes, by the time if you go there and stand, you are past that. You go there, so you are all equal in that Senate.
So really? So
yes,
if somebody
you are all equal. It's out of order. And again, it shows weakness. You don't allow it.
So is it a show of weakness for a woman to speak out?
It cannot happen in the Senate.
Really?
I'm not saying that the lady is lying. I'm not done. But again, my dear, when you get to Senate, you are there as a person. You are not there as a man or woman. You are there as a person. It doesn't matter what you are carrying between whatever.
You understand?
No, you are there. And then, mind you, I don't think at this stage of, I respect that girl. I like her. She's very intelligent, very, very well spoken. You understand? But I do not think that the person you call sir, because first of all, if you call somebody sir, then you are giving the person a cane to whip you.
I want to ask Akpabio's wife, do you want to tell me that side chick Mata never caused quarrel for her before? Abi it's because you want to protect his senatorial seats, you want to zip this one, or you want to sweep it under the carpet? This whole thing between Natasha and Akpabio for me is categorized into misuse of power, disrespect, and disregard. Your seat is like your position. Seating arrangement is being done according to your position in some organization. So changing your seat arrangement is as good as changing your position. Ireti that is a colleague to Natasha saying seating arrangement shouldn't be an issue is a trivial thing. It shows that women, most times we are against each other. We just pretend to love one another, but we don't. How can you say sitting arrangement in that kind of setting is trivial? If you can read in between the lines, you will obviously know that her allegation is not far from the truth. The highest level of the disrespect is that why is he harassing a woman that is married if you have regard for her? It means you don't have respect for her marriage, you don't have regard for her. Natasha said Akpabio wanted her to make him happy before she would be able to move her Jakarta motion. And because she said no to it, hatred entered. Akpabio's aide refers to Natasha's allegation as tissues of lies. And that Natasha is angered because she was removed as the chairman of Senate Committee on Local Government. Why was she removed? Because she didn't grant the sex favor, Sabi. Just as corruption is the order of the day in Nigeria, abuse of power is second to it. Now you see a lot of bosses seeking sexual favors from their PAs, from their staff, lecturers seeking sexual favors from their students. And if you don't give, you will fail your exams. Why was Senator Natasha's seat changed? Why was she removed from being the chairman of the Senate Committee on Local Government? Why? Akpabio was probably trying to use the power he has to get what he wants, even from a married woman. All the single ladies never do. Akpabio's wife has come out to say, my husband is disciplined though, and he's also responsible. Natasha is just making content. She is also filing for defamation of character against Natasha. This is the reason why a lot of women that are still harassed cannot have the boldness to come out and tell the world that this is what my boss is doing to me, this is what my pastor is doing to me, this is what my lecturer is doing to me. Because if they come, these same fellow women that are saying women supporting women, these same women will bully them. That's if power no pass power. I am hoping that Natasha wins this case. Enough is enough of this misuse of power, sexual harassment, sexual favors. This thing that is happening in Nigeria, it cannot happen in some civilized countries. But in our country, Nigeria, the top people are doing it, the middle class are doing it, the low class are also doing it. Who is going to correct who?
Alright, so this issue of Senator Natasha Akpoti and the Senate president have slowly died down. Now, but there's a big problem. There's a very, very big problem. Natasha Akpoti came out to say a lot of things and laid allegation on the Senate president that he harassed her. That he came to her and he told her that he wanted to knock her, and because she refused, while he started poking her. Now, here's the problem that comes with this. If that case is not properly handled, a lot of victims that go through sexual harassment from their bosses at work, from their teachers at school, from their lecturers, they would not have the voice to come out. Because they will see that, see what they do, a whole Senator Natasha, who I be. That being said, I'm not saying what Senator Natasha is saying is the truth. I, for one, me, myself, anything I know they see evidence, I know they believe. Do you understand? So for me, I know 100% that story just be like, okay, they play politics. That is my own humble opinion, right? Because, why now? But again, you don't go tell victim the right time to speak when the person say him be victim. So yes, that is one of the big problems. Secondly, see the way the game don't fly. Don't leave Senate President. It don't come Senate President wife versus Natasha. I know 100% that case will be thrown out of court. Because how dare you take the Senate President to court? Senate President is the President of the Senate, President of the lawmakers. Do you understand? The strongest arm of the three arm of government, the legislative arm. That's the President of the legislative arm. And you want to take and go court. Obviously, they'll look for a way to bend the case. But that being said, if this kind of thing just go down like that, young girls that are being harassed at work, young women that are being harassed at work will never have the voice to talk. Then predators will go scot-free. Again, I am not saying the Senate President did it. I'm only saying that this case should not be overlooked 100%. Secondly, the Senate President himself should not overlook this case. If Natasha Akpoti cooked up this story, he should not overlook it and say, because of his position. An allegation like this is an embarrassment to his position. Now, he be the first Senate President ever accused of something like this. This is a very big allegation. Fine and good. For me, again, I'm coming from another point. For me, I dey wait till Natasha bring something very strong. Do you understand? Like, Senate President did not also sexually harass me. Senate President was also padding budget. Senate President was also the reason why this did not happen in Nigeria. Senate President was also did that. But here's the problem. If Natasha decides to go that route, Senate President's wife said that Natasha's husband, Uduaga, and her husband, the Senate President, are close friends. So if they say they are close friends, it looks like they are best friends. They know themselves very well. So if Senate President they do all those things, there's no way Natasha or her husband no go know. So if Natasha goes beyond this, he tried to knock me matter, then everybody go cast. Do you understand? Everybody go cast. Now, again, this whole thing, if it's not handled properly, the girl child, women will lose their voice. And they can never complain again. You will scare a lot of them back to the hole. Yes, you scare a lot of them. So what I think they should do, just the way they invite Very Dark Man and Bobrisky, the Senate committee should invite the both of them. They should stand in the dock. If the Senate President truly value the country, himself, he no go mind. Do you understand? He no go mind to stand in the dock. Do you understand? Make deputy stay, make deputy take over, then he go stand for inside dock. Then they go investigate the case. When they investigate the case and they find who is lying, then they prosecute the other person. Because to be very honest, if this thing outside country, Senate President will do that seat. Natasha herself not go be Natasha. Two of them, they go drop them down, maybe they follow investigation. When they don't follow investigation, they don't see who they lie, then they know the next step to take. And Senator Natasha, let me tell you something. Me, I tell you now. Say this one will be one of all those cases and I don't talk, I can't go back here and go settle. You go use our emotions play. If you know say you know what you talk, stand on your ground. And Senate President, if you know say Senate President and his wife, when I know say what Natasha at the top, now gibberish, when I say stand on the ground. Again, now my only pain be that fact say when I go scare a lot of girl child, a lot of women, a lot of young women back to their holes. Once this thing get a very big negative impact if it is overlooked. Get a very big negative impact. Then the one where concern me, Natasha just release a lot of things that affect Nigeria. Make I get joy. Sharp. That one, that time I go see me. Then they just go release one list where concern all of them. Make I happy. So yeah, that's the only wahala. So Nigerians, Lamborghini don't carry everybody attention, but still want to remember that part. Peace and love, don't play.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and please my love, don't forget to turn on the post notification bell so that you'll be the first to be notified whenever I post a video. I love you. See you in my next video. Bye.